So JustPearlyThings, who's on the screen right now, just had a podcast with Andrew Tate. So it was her 100 episode of the pregame podcast on her channel. I'll link it down below. But at the end of the channel, she was going around and asking everyone on the panel what they think of the red pill. Um, and I would like you guys to hear Andrew Tate's response. So I've got it queued up here, so let's take a listen.
Do you have any points for them? Both of those.
Yeah, I can talk about the red pill. I can complain about it just too. I think there is. To be fair, I do think there is a lot of angry, bitter men which are attracted to it, and those are the ones that will leave these stupid comments. My point was
Thank
that.
you.
My point is that they're already being punished by God and by society, so don't worry about it. My point is that if a woman doesn't act correctly, she doesn't feel the true sting of punishment. Not in her prime years. She may feel it later, but in her prime years, it doesn't fucking even matter, which is why they do it. Whereas if a man doesn't have his shit in order, trust me, he knows very well because his reality sucks. And that's why he's sending you DMs, because he's lonely. Because if he had a life, he wouldn't bother, right? So there's that part of it. It does attract a lot of angry, bitter people, but I think that's because life's very difficult as a man, like we said earlier, and some of them end up angry and bitter. The answer to all things, I believe, whether you're a man or you're a woman, to try and heal all rifts between the genders, I think whether you're a man or you're a woman, the answer to all things in life is to take absolute and utter self-accountability for all the good and all the bad. You must look at yourself and realize that everything good that happened in your life is your fault, and everything bad that happens in your life is completely your fault. And with that, having that high degree of absolute accountability, it doesn't matter. Even if it rains outside, I blame myself because I didn't have to be in London, right? I could have stayed in Dubai and it wouldn't have rained. So I'm responsible for absolutely everything. And if you do that, you pay attention to things and you try your very best to mitigate the negative circumstances and work your hardest, you're going to have a pretty good life. I just want to finish by saying that I believe that men and women are best as a team. I don't think any woman will be truly happy without a man, and I certainly know that no man will be happy without a woman. I think it's absolutely beautiful when we work as couples and we create families and we stick to our strengths. When men stick to what they're good at and a woman sticks to what they're good at, that makes them the most powerful team on the planet. And the world we're living in now, we have societal pressures and propagandas which are trying very hard to divide and split the genders. But truthfully, the power and the beauty of the universe relies on us working together. So it's been very nice speaking to you, ladies. I'm only upset that you ran out of Clementine.
Okay, he's making some kind of joke now. But I thought what he said there, especially at the end, was, I don't know, very beautiful. That when men and women need each other, that we both have a role to fulfill in a relationship, and when we do that, it's one of the most beautiful unions basically that you can have. I think that's super super nice, and I kind of didn't expect it from him per se. I guess I haven't probably listened to enough of his content. I've kind of heard him touch on it, but it's nice to hear him reinforce that. And um, although he's bombastic and he says certain things in a certain way, I thought that was really nice. Uh, Also, I think he made a good point about all the hate and stuff that men do online and on the internet, having to do with um, basically these are lonely guys who feel disenfranchised, and so a lot of times we talk about incels, not that these are all incels, but people who are just not in good positions in their lives, and so they lash out and they say stupid things, both men and women. Um, but it's just it's people who aren't healthy. So maybe just something for us as people to take away from that is not to look at it differently and not take that to heart, because you got to understand that those people who are saying those things and acting in those ways that are so negative and nasty, they're not in good places. And so maybe if we just have a reframing of that and we don't let it affect us. So when we go on social media, or you go, uh, um, well, I guess it's really on social media, the internet. When you go out there and those things happen to you, just understand that's where it's coming from. Even if you're out and about, you're walking on the street and then something happens and somebody acts in a bad way, just understanding that this person is probably not in a good place, and that's why they're acting that way. So I thought it was really beautiful. So go check out her interview. It's pretty long. There's a lot of arguing, frankly, that I didn't care about. Danalva there, who's in the middle seat, and there's another lady who's a couple ladies who aren't on the screen right now who are there, Auntie, and then this, I don't know who this other woman is, who's not on the screen, but she's also there. I didn't really, I don't know. They do a lot of arguing and stuff, and it was kind of like, ugh. But in general, there were some good nuggets in this podcast. It's pretty long, but go check it out. I will link it in the description below. All right, interested on your thoughts about what was mentioned in this video here. All right, have a great day. See you guys.